Guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I want to try my hand at speed build, and I don't think I've ever done one of these on this channel before, but hopefully it should be fun. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So for this house, I wasn't really sure what to do because most of the time I don't make my shell myself, but this time I decided to give it a go. I wanted to make sure that I had the floor plan correct, so I ended up drawing it out on a sheet of paper and using a reference, and then putting items that would eventually go in the rooms or would symbolize what the rooms were, just so I could kind of wrap my head around it. I was debating how to do the top floor. I originally wanted to give them a kids' room, and then I wanted to give them a wraparound patio area, but I decided it would be much better just to give them a master bed with a bathroom, and then a little study area with just a smaller wraparound porch and a bit of an overhang. Alright, now that we're done with the little shell area, I moved on to windows and exterior doors, and this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I really liked a lot of the windows, but the windows that I liked together didn't have the same swatches, and so it ended up being very hard to figure out which windows I wanted and where. And I also wanted to make it look symmetrical while also making it look nice, diverse, and like an actual house. It was really hard, especially I found, to find matching shades of white, which really shouldn't be a problem, especially in a life simulator, because in real life, it's pretty easy to get matching shades of white. In addition to the issues that I had with shade and style on the windows, I also found myself wanting to go slightly more modern with the upper area of the house, even though I went for a slightly more cottage theme on the bottom. And you will see that later when I start adding a bunch of windows to the study, and I basically make that whole area just fully glass, which I thought looked pretty nice. I did really like the initial door I picked, but I wanted to see if I could get one that was more glass, which I do kind of regret doing because it ended up making it a little bit worse. Now, you may disagree, but I felt like the front of the house was lacking something, so I added in this little front porch area, which I honestly really like, and I really enjoy how the dark stone bricks contrast the lightness of the house. I'm a bit annoyed that the stair texture and the texture of the pattern didn't line up, but that's alright. Roofing on this house I found was also surprisingly easy, considering usually it's one of the biggest pains. I used pretty much the same stairs and the same flooring on all of the porches, but on the top porch, I wanted to make them line up by using the triangle or half-quarter square tiles. I don't really know what you want to call it, but I couldn't get it to line up perfectly because of the dimensions of the house, so I decided to instead just go for a funky pattern that would make all the bricks look like they had been placed that way intentionally. I didn't like the way that the columns were sticking out of the top, and I tried to fix it with the same things I had used on the porch, but I instead used the little house edge thing, And then on the big roofs, I wasn't entirely sure what to do to start off with, so I just kind of grabbed whatever I wanted and went with it. I couldn't really decide what color I wanted it or if I wanted a chimney. I knew I definitely wanted a chimney, but not a functional one, but it took me a minute to find the right size. I had to try out several wallpapers to find one I actually liked. I knew I wanted it to be a light stone brick, but it was surprisingly difficult to pick which one I liked. It also took me a minute to figure out what type of siding I wanted, but I decided on this bluish one. Once I had all of the roofs and the wallpaper the way I wanted it, I knew that something was lacking in terms of contrast, so I turned everything that was white into this dark wood color, which annoyingly, some of the stuff I picked did not have the exact swatch that I wanted, and so some parts are a little mismatched. Once I was finished with the overall outside of the house, I wanted to literally cover it in plants. I added window boxes to almost every single window except for the big ones, and then I just went crazy with trees and plants and stuff on the outside. This makes it look super overgrown and really kind of pulls together that modern Victorian theme that I was kind of starting to go for. Eventually, I added vines over the entire house, which honestly was really fun. I really like adding vines to a lot of this style of house whenever I build it because it really just makes the house look a lot older, a lot more lush. It looks more lived in, which I really like, and these vines are some of my favorite custom content that I've ever downloaded. What I hadn't realized before I started doing the landscaping and stuff was that during the spring, surprisingly, none of the trees look very good. So after I finished doing all the landscaping and stuff, I did switch it over to summer for the thumbnail picture. So that's why it maybe looks a little bit different. There wasn't really much I wanted to do on this little outside porch area. I just really wanted to give them a bit of a nicer grill, maybe a picnic table. Eventually I decided that the rounder one would look better and that I liked it more when it wasn't on the porch. And then I also wanted to add a hammock, but the wood on the hammock that I initially picked didn't really fit the color scheme, so I picked a different one. And with that, we are done.
Alright Alright guys, here is the outside of my little house so far. I've just done the outside and it took me a really long time, so I think I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video where I do the inside, but I'm actually really pleased with the way it's turned out so far. I think it's really cute and hopefully you guys do too. See you in the next video. Bye!